Hi everyone, I'm Stan from Eagle Vision. I'm here with Armando Paradiso. Welcome Armando.
Thank you, Stan.
So today we're going to talk about something a little bit different to some of the previous videos. And we talk about stone and bench tops and how do Uniq Stone manufacture some of the work that they do. So Armando, tell us a little bit about you. So how does Uniq work?
Sure. So I guess a lot of the questions that have come from today are going to be from my 20 years of experience within the industry. Yeah. So Uniq Stone, well, I've been operating in marble and granite and reconstituted stone for well over 20 years. Uniq Stone has now over 20 odd individuals working here with separate departments within the business, and all of those areas are spaces that allow us to get the goal with quality bench tops, bathroom tops into people's homes.
Great. Today's video is mostly going to be focused on architects and interior designers and how they work with Uniq Stone. So what is the background to stone?
Sure, so there's a lot of different stones that you can use. Yep. So like behind us here, we've got some marble. Yep. Marble's quarried out of the likes of like India and Italy and so forth. They're brought in through wholesalers into Australia and then obviously dispersed out to manufacturers, to architects also know about it. Yep. There's other materials. So you've got granite, you've got reconstituted stone. And in the reconstituted stone category, you've got several brands within that space. Okay. And those brands are basically manufacturers. The better ones are manufacturers of their own materials, and those brands have their own headquarters in each state of Australia. Okay. So they're the most popular colours, I guess today, from a, I don't know if it's the right word, but say a commodity point of view. Yep. And the big difference between the growth of reconstituted stone versus natural stone has been the light colour palette.
Got it. Okay.
All right. So typically your natural stones are very darker, and the darker stone you have, the more dense the stone is and heavier it is. Right. So a light colour stone like marble, which is considered sort of the pinnacle of images and character, is equally very chalk-like. So it's very porous. Right. Where the engineered stone, you've got the light colours, but they're very, very, very dense. They're virtually non-porous, so they're very resilient for bathroom and kitchen surfaces. Okay, very interesting.
And I've noticed that with something like this, there's vein matching, so the pattern actually matches up, so it feels seamless. How does that work?
Yeah, so with natural stone, generally when they're quarrying them out of the rocks, let's, for example, use Italy. Now, I visited Italy several years ago to see some of the quarries there, and what an amazing place to be, I guess, just to be present in. So they basically slice up their slabs, they polish the front of one slab, the back of the other slab to create a book match. Right. So that book match then gives you that vein matching for join. So here we've got a book match join behind us. It's a great example of a book match. And that's what people, when they're doing larger island tops or longer splashbacks, they want to see that join symmetrical and vein matched.
Of course.
You can only go as well as the material has been polished, but generally you get them within millimeters, if not exactly.
And how about the thickness side of things when it comes to designers? How do they deal with that?
Well, marble can be brought in any thickness, but the thicknesses that we use for bench tops in natural stone are either 20 mil or 30 mil. Okay. With the engineered stone, so the likes of the reconstituted stones, they are gravitating to a 20 mil market. Okay. Yeah. There was 30 mil in the past, but 20 mil is the way they go, and we can grow from there. So we then put on cut miter edges on the materials to put different thicknesses on. So those thicknesses can go from 30, 40, 50, 60 to 100 mil, generally is what we see.
Yeah. And speaking of cutting, I guess, how does that side of it work out?
Cutting's really important.
Right.
It's a one chance at it, really. Yeah. When you're using a marble, as an example, you're dealing with thousands of dollars in material. So there's no room for error when you're cutting natural stone, or any of the stone for that fact. So all the stones that we deal with are, I guess, considered to be the leading benchtop surfaces for kitchens and bathrooms. Okay. And out of the natural stones, they escalate in cost. So cutting is super important.
Yep.
We go out to site and everything we do is cut on demand. So nothing can be prefab in our factory, so to speak.
Yep.
We have to inspect the site.
Yep.
Some of the things that people probably don't know what we do on site is we make sure that obviously cupboards and joinery is level. There's the right substrates are in place. We do, I guess, a check before we do our measurements.
Yep.
When we take our measurements, they've got to be within millimeters.
Of course.
We've got to know where our joins are going to go, where sinks are going to go, where hot plates are going to go. We basically collate all that information, we bring it back to the factory, it goes on our CNC machine, where the cutting then becomes like a real critical point of the job.
Yep.
So the cutting is done and aligned on the slabs. It's sliced and diced with diamond blades.
Right.
So everything we do is cut with water and with diamond blades.
Okay.
There's different diamond blades for different materials.
Right.
So we can't use a granite blade, for example, to cut a marble job.
Okay.
Or we can't use a porcelain blade to cut a reconstituted stone job.
Why is that?
The diamond fragments and everything within the blades are designed differently. They're designed to cut a certain material a certain way.
Yep.
So to the point where the machine's got different programs in it and different speed levels, different RPMs for the material.
And it's all preset based on whatever material that's
tried, tested, measured, by using manufacturers' recommendations also with some of their materials.
Yeah, no worries. And what about like for an architect, is it just a matter of designing the joinery and then just going to a stone supplier and supplying that bench top, or is it more?
It sort of is simply, but a lot of factors have got to be considered.
Okay.
So for an architect, they like to know the history of the stone too. It's really important to become emotionally attached to the job and for it to be the feature. So what's great about what we're doing about stone bench tops is that they're the focal point.
Absolutely.
It's a focal point
through to the kitchen.
Yeah. I'm sure you've been into homes and I guess you sort of get drawn to their stone bench tops or their stone splashbacks.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this industry, to be quite honest. It's
of course.
It's real niche in that regard. So they want to know, architects want to know slab sizes because natural stone can come in various sizes, various lengths, various heights. Yep. What they've designed for a certain colour might not particularly work if it's not the right sizes.
Yeah.
So that's really important to know. And because there's no norm with natural stone or the granite, the material you go and see from the wholesaler is the material you're going to base everything on.
Okay.
Because we can look at New York marble that we have here behind us, and there might be stock now at 3 meters by 1600 slabs, but I've known New York marble to be only 2.5 meters by 1 meters.
So somebody designs a 3 meter island,
and they said they want New York marble, and then at that point in time, there's no New York marble around that size around, we've got some issues.
Yeah, of course.
Which we've got to focus on solutions. Yeah, and you mentioned earlier about a 3.2 length that's now becoming available. So then that's reconstituted stone. So reconstituted stone was, generally they've always been 3 meter lengths.
Got it.
They've now gone, everybody's come to the realization about 3 meter as a length to optimize your stone for your bench tops or your work surface. So joiners or designers have been working to 3 meters. Now, why this is really important, because if you were to make, say, a 3.1 meter bench, you've lost the optimization of your material, and you've now gone to the point where you've got to spend maybe a bit significantly more money just to get that 100 mil extra, and you'd also need a join in place. So that's a real smart thing to be conscious of, slab sizes. And as I said, you know, a lot of the reconstituted stone companies are now going to 3.2 as a standard.
Very interesting.
So that should solve a few issues of the people that are now in the 3 meter range. But I guess it's just gonna grow from there. People are always going to want bigger, larger, better, and so forth.
Very good. Look, that's all we sort of wanted to cover in this issue, in this video for architects and interior designers. Next time around, we'll talk more about property developers and how they deal, I guess, with stone manufacturers. Thank you for watching.